The Supreme Court just gave the green light for racial profiling because the case in question here, it centered around the aggressive immigration enforcement efforts in LA that have been a key part of Trump's crackdown. And at this point, you've probably seen at least some of the countless videos circulating the internet in recent months showing armed federal agents rounding up Hispanic people in LA, and even those who are US citizens. But with many saying that these agents are just acting as rove bands of masked officers routinely violating the Constitution, though you have supporters arguing that this is a part of Trump's administration's vigorous but entirely legal campaign to enforce immigration laws. But regardless of your opinion here or what you call it, the situation led to civil rights groups and several individuals filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration, where describing what was happening as indiscriminate immigration operations and saying that when they had swept up thousands of day laborers, car wash workers, farm workers, caregivers, and more, the administration was violating these people's Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures, saying, quote, individuals with brown skin are approached and pulled aside by unidentified federal agents suddenly and with a show of force and made to answer questions about who they are and where they are from. And so then what you saw in response to the suit was a U.S. District Court judge from Central California placing some hefty restrictions on immigration agents, ordering them to not rely on factors including race or ethnicity, speaking Spanish or accented English, presence at a particular location like a day laborer site or an agriculture site, or performing a particular type of work, with the judge saying that these factors shouldn't be used alone or actually in any combination in deciding who to stop within her jurisdiction, though the Trump administration took the issue to the Supreme Court. Right? And they argued that the restrictions were hurting their ability to handle the illegal immigration problem, and they said that the stops made by federal agents were lawful. And what we saw yesterday is that the Supreme Court agreed, ruling 6-3 along party lines. And so they lifted those restrictions and offered really no explanation, with really the only one providing any sort of context or thought behind the court's judgment being Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who wrote in a separate concurring opinion that those four factors that the lower court judge excluded can play a role in determining who they need to stop. With Kavanaugh saying that while apparent ethnicity itself is not a reason to stop someone, that combined with other factors can be a relevant consideration. And he also went on to defend the LA immigration crackdown in general, writing about 10% of the people in the Los Angeles region are illegally in the United States, meaning about 2 million illegal immigrants out of a total population of 20 million. Right, but then on the other side, you had Justice Sonia Sotomayor and the two other liberal justices dissenting, with Sotomayor saying that with this ruling, the court and the administration, quote, all but declared that all Latinos, U.S. citizens or not who work low-wage jobs are fair game to be seized at any time, taken away from work, and held until they provide proof of their legal status to the agents' satisfaction. And adding, countless people in the Los Angeles area have been grabbed, thrown to the ground, and handcuffed simply because of their looks, their accents, and the fact that they make a living by doing manual labor. Today, the court needlessly subjects countless more to these exact same indignities, and saying rather than stand idly by while our constitutional freedoms are lost, I dissent. And as you can imagine, this ruling has prompted a lot of reactions, including some grave warnings from experts.